What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and I gotta hand it to Tuchel. I mean, just when I thought there's no possible way he can disappoint me today, he still finds a way. I mean, I went into this game expecting disappointment because if you expect disappointment, you can't be disappointed, right? I mean, I know that's not the lesson that Spider-Man No Way Home was trying to teach, but that's the lesson I took away. So I thought going into today's game, I'm like, as long as we play well, we don't even have to win. If we just get a draw out of this, I'll be fine. I just want to see a good performance. That's perfectly fine. Tuchel still found a way to disappoint me because we got a good performance. We won the game, but obviously we're still knocked out, and Tuchel still has to answer for his idiotic decisions. So allow me to explain kind of how I've been feeling recently because I've not done a review since the Norwich game. Honestly, was fine with Tuchel before the international break. And in fact, I said to my dad, I've had my issues with him, but I'm glad he's been in charge because of the whole PR thing, all of the media and the government just basically trying to take down our club because they want to be virtue signalers. I mean, he's handled it very well. And I gave him that. I was like, I'm glad he was in charge because I don't know many people that could have handled it better than him. I don't know how word got to him that I said this to my dad in the kitchen because most of the time when I compliment him, he finds a way to be like, oh, no, 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 no. He can't compliment me. I got to make sure he knows just how bad of a manager I am. And sure enough, we come back from the international break, and we were awful. And his tactics and his personnel decisions, it's just been awful. It's been terrible. Even the 6-0 win against Southampton. I mean, he still found a way to slip Christensen in after he had a hell of a game against Real Madrid. And that's not like, ooh, what a hell of a game. No, no, no. Like, watching him play was hell for all Chelsea fans. Still played him against Southampton for whatever reason and was still the worst player on the pitch, even though we didn't give up a goal. He still gave Southampton their best chances. So I've just not been happy with Tuchel. Whatever. Then you get to today, started well, things are looking fine. I'm thinking, okay, we've got a chance. Now, Tuchel, let's make some changes. We just scored 3, perfect. We're in the driver's seat now. Make some changes. We got it. We're good. Be more defensive. Let's make some changes. Tuchel, make some changes. We're not making changes, are we? No, we're going to wait until they score to make changes, aren't we? Oh, they scored. Oh, here's the change. That's the point. That's honestly the whole point of this game is Tuchel didn't make any changes until they scored. That's too late. After we made it 3-0, that's when the change should have happened. I don't know exactly who it should have been because I don't really know. Spilicueta was on the bench. He would have been my first choice, but I know he had some sort of injury against Southampton, so maybe he's not fully fit. So maybe he wouldn't have been the best option. But you've got Chalobah, who you can bring on for Loftus-Cheek, who was playing awful today, and then push James to right wing back. You could bring on Jorginho into the midfield for one of the front 3, so now we've got 3 in the midfield, which provides us some more defensive cover. You could put Chalobah or Christensen in the midfield because they both played there before, so add a third midfielder. I don't know. I mean, just there are options. Again, Spilicueta, he can play right wing back or the right center back. I don't know why that was not a change. Again, Loftus-Cheek was awful today. He was causing more of our problems whenever we did give the ball away. And honestly, most of the time, if it was a giveaway, it came from something Loftus-Cheek did. So he was a player that should have been changed first and should have been changed well before, honestly, even before the 3rd goal happened. But he didn't change it. And honestly, most of these players probably tired. Most of them played the full 90 against Southampton. And then you come in today, you've had to travel. They're not going to last the full 90. So you need to make some changes, especially after you've got that 3rd goal, because that means you're in the lead. You're winning. You just have to hold on for, what was it, another 15 minutes, I think? You just have to hold on for 15 more minutes. So make some defensive changes and solidify the defense. But he doesn't. They get the goal, and at that point, they've got the momentum. It's their game. As soon as that goal went in, I knew we were not going to win this game. I knew we were done. Okay, when I say not going to win this game, we weren't going to win the tie. I knew overall we were going to get knocked out. I knew if we did make it to extra time, I knew Real Madrid were going to have the momentum because we were expecting we just got to hold on for another 10 minutes-ish. And then you give away that goal. The mentality is like, God, Now we got to do this for another 30 minutes, and sure enough, another goal coming from the player who should have been subbed off first because Loftus-Cheek was awful today. So, Tuchel, what's he doing? I don't know, but I want him out of the club now. I'm done. I've defended him. I've had my issues with him. I've gone back and forth like, okay, but he's won us some stuff. Okay, but he's done well at times. He's had some good moments. This today is a sackable offense because we were in charge. You were handed a miracle by your players. They fought and fought and fought and brought the game back. You sent them out there. They did their jobs, and you rewarded them by not making any substitutions and giving the game back to Real Madrid. This is all on Tuchel. Also Loftus-Cheek, but Tuchel's the one that decided to keep playing him even after he was our weakest link throughout the entire game. So, all on Tuchel. He should be gone. He's not going to be because, of course he's not. Oh, he won the Champions League, and we won the Super Cup, and we won the Club World Cup. He's won his trophies. Yeah, but he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Again, shown today. So there's my Tuchel rant. Also, talk about the referee real quick. Played his part to the perfection. I'm sure wherever Perez is watching, he's very, very happy with how the ref performed today. And the VAR, honestly. They both were fantastic for Real. I mean, one of the best performances I've seen for a Real Madrid referee in a long time. I mean, he even, he gave us that corner that led to the second goal. So it's like, oh, he made a mistake for Chelsea. See, the refs aren't working for Real Madrid. He even did that just to make sure nobody suspected that he was actually working for Real Madrid. But when you add it up to the 2 or 3 missed penalties for us, the VAR calling the handball on Alonso, all of the little dives that he was calling for Real Madrid, all of the lack of yellow cards for yellow card challenges from Real Madrid players. I mean, it was very clear he was still working for Real, but people are going to focus on that one. Oh, he gave a corner when Madrid didn't touch the ball. See, he's not paid off. He's not working for Real Madrid. Okay, sure. Let me just ignore those other missed penalties and say, oh yeah, he was a completely fair referee today. But yeah, the Casemiro on Havertz. I first of all, I hate that in general. You know, player sticks their leg in front of a player who's trying to win the ball. And most of the time that foul is called on the player that's running in from behind. But in this case, I mean, he literally just kicked Havertz. It wasn't like he stepped in front of him. He threw his leg in front of Havertz and tripped him up. So that's a penalty. Rudiger got tripped up. You know, he had his back to the goal. I don't remember who was behind him. I think it was Valverde. But you see a clear kick out and got him in the back of the ankle. Nothing there. Saul was running in, and he, poked the ball around Carvajal, I think. That's who it was. And, I mean, he just basically ran right through his leg. So, somehow that was a foul on Saul, by the way. Just like the Casemiro one was a foul on Havertz somehow. So, yeah, just terrible decisions. The handball, I don't care what the rule is. That's not a handball. That's you flicked off the knuckles. First of all, it came boom. So it's not like it was my hand's here and the ball bounces and it touched my hand. No, it was flicked up onto this, and then flicked off the knuckles. Didn't do anything, and he buries it, and the referee and the VAR is like, we got you, Real. Thank you for the money. So anyways, there's the little rant on them. As far as the players are concerned, majority of them played fine. It was a okay performance overall. Honestly, it was kind of a tale of two halves. So first half was really, really good for most everybody except for the one I've already mentioned. And then second half is where some players started to drop off a little bit. Honestly, the subs didn't really do much for us today either. For going back to Tuchel, most of his subs didn't affect the game in a positive manner. Pulisic came on for Werner, Werner was in top form today. He was in top form against Southampton as well. So he's been playing fantastic, and you bring Pulisic on, and Pulisic missed, 3 clear-cut chances? So that's a sub that didn't work out. Jorginho and Saul both had terrible... Jorginho had the one where Ziyech had the shot, which fell right at his feet. He turns, he's 10 yards out, and he misses the goal entirely. So that was terrible. And Saul had a late chance to sort of dump it in, maybe get somebody's head on it, and he puts it right into Courtois' hands. So, yeah, both of them came on, did nothing. The only sub that I thought it came on did anything was Ziyech. So, one of his 4 subs, by the way, we have 5. I don't know if Tuchel knows that, but we have 5 subs in the Champions League. He might want to use all of them next time, if we have a next time. Oh my god. So, yeah, he used 4 subs out of 5, and only one of those subs benefited the game in a positive manner. Again, sackable offense. We had the game in our hands. We should have gone through to the semifinals, and Tuchel said, no, 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 no. I'm not done being a stupid manager. Um, Individuals. Mendy, honestly, for the first one, could have done a bit better. It was point blank, so it's kind of one of those, you don't expect him to really make a save that close. However, his reaction was just, it was very Kepa-like. The plant, oh no, went past me. So could have done a bit better there. The second one, that's just, there's nothing he could do. It's coming across, so he's stepping across and it's headed back that way. That's probably one of the hardest saves to make as a keeper. Defense, James on the right side of the back three. I don't mind him there, but I really prefer when he gets up in the attack because he's much more useful there. Defensively, he did okay today. There were some times when he made some naive challenges against Vinicius. He definitely handled him a lot better than Christensen did. Christensen, I don't think, made one defensive challenge against Vinicius. I think he was constant. I don't think he actually stopped him once. I'm trying to think. It's been a week, so it's hard to remember the entire game, but I don't remember Christensen ever actually being successful against Vinicius. James at least was successful a few times today, but he was up against it and he did perfectly fine. But again, I think he's much better when he gets in the attack, so I just think he was a little limited there today, but he did fine. He played well overall. Only a couple issues here and there with just some decision making with his positioning and decision making when he went to step in maybe a little too early. But overall, it was okay. Silva, for the most part, solid as always. He's been solid. He's still one of the best center backs at our club right now, and he's showing it constantly. Rudiger has had a little bit of a slump recently. He's had a few games. Southampton, he wasn't really tested, but the game against Brentford, the game against Real, first leg, he was pretty bad. He really stunk up the field multiple times. So to see today, he really came out hard and worked hard and really busted it for the team. Maybe had a few moments on the ball where he should have been a bit smarter with it, but still, just his work rate overall today was much better than I saw throughout the entirety of the first leg. So it makes me think if we had had this Rudiger in the first leg, we might have won and gone through with a 3-2 result. But the past is the past. Alonso on the left side has also been kind of hit or miss. I thought he played pretty well against Southampton, but that's Southampton. So I was kind of like, is he going to really do much today? And honestly, had probably one of his better games of the season today. It's been a while since he played at this type of level, where he's just constantly putting a good cross in. He's having a lot of threat down that left side. Defensively, obviously still suspect. The goal from Rodrigo, he lost track of him, which allowed Rodrigo to just come in completely unmarked. So still has that issue in his game, but that's why he's a left wing back and not a left back, because left wing backs don't normally have to be really solid defensively. But it's something that I do wish he would work on a bit more, just because that's something that's been a complaint about him for a while now. And yet it doesn't seem like he's really making any progress there. Every game, he's still getting beat defensively. So, but yeah, on the attack, I thought he was very solid today and provided a lot of good danger down that left side whenever we could get it out to him, because most of the time we were going down the right for whatever reason. And on that note, Loftus-Cheek. Yeah, again, probably our weakest link today. Definitely, well, it would probably be between him and one of the 3 subs aside from Ziyech. But, anytime he got the ball, I just never expected much to come of it. His crosses today were off. His passing today was just a yard too far on the ball. It was typically he tries to take somebody on the dribble and then he goes backwards positioning. I'm not really sure what he was doing. Sometimes he was in the middle. Sometimes he was out wide. Sometimes he was high. Sometimes he was way too deep. I don't know. He was all over the place today. He played fine against Southampton, but again, just like with Alonso, I was like, okay, but that's Southampton. How's he going to be against Real? Loftus-Cheek was the one that was shown he was really the the beneficiary of some poor Southampton defending, because Real, who are better defenders and who are a better team overall, really shut him down and made sure he didn't have any joy today. And he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't figure out how to do anything with it. There are 2 moments definitely that stood out for me as why he should have been one of the first subs off. first of all, there was a run that was made, I think, by Mount. He's driving down that right side. And all I'm thinking is, if James is the right wing back, here comes Mount, and here comes James. And he makes that overlapping run for Mount, which allows him to either cut inside, or if defender sticks with Mount, he can cut it back, and James can put it in a good cross. With Loftus-Cheek, Mount makes that driving run. Loftus-Cheek. 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 He's not making the overlapping run. He's staying, isn't he? He's going to stay. Okay, he's staying. He's not doing anything. He's not giving us a thing. And I'm just like, what does that do? It makes sure Mount is very isolated now, because the only option he has is basically to drop it to you about 15 yards back. That was the first thing. And then the second thing was, of course, the second goal. I mean, how many times was he just caught out? Because he does not know what he's doing at right wing back. There was another moment in the first half, too, where I just remember pass around him. And it looked very much like Christensen in the first leg. So easy to play around him. And all you got to do is, okay, he lays it back. I'm going to go with this man that just laid it back. But instead he goes, he laid it back. I'm going to stand here and wonder what I should do next as the ball goes right past me and the player breaks in behind. Oh, I should probably go with him. It's too late. So, yeah, he was awful. And again, I don't know why he wasn't one of the first subs. He was the last sub. And if there was anybody that would have said, oh, he needs to be the last sub today, he needs to be the last person you take off the field if you're going to take him off at all, Loftus-Cheek was that player. In the midfield, Kovacic and Conte. Kovacic, probably one of our better players today, just really ran that midfield very well. And just did a good job of keeping possession for us. Played some good through balls in the final third. He's not typically somebody that's well known for his passing in the final third, but I thought today he did pretty well overall. And then Conte was a little bit more like himself, especially compared to his first leg performance. But obviously, he's been dealing with a lot of physical issues. I don't know exactly what it is. They've said that there's I think it's a hamstring thing possibly, or there's basically some sort of muscle issue that he's been dealing with off and on. And you can really see it in his performances these days, because he's not at the same level as we've come to expect from Conte. So when you play him full 90 against Southampton, or did he play full 90 against Southampton? I can't remember now if they subbed him off or not. But played a lot during the Southampton game, and then comes out and plays again against Real, and honestly played well for the first half and most of the second. However, he needs to get subbed. He is a player at this point. He's just not quite there, and he's also somebody that you got to make a sub if he's playing a lot of minutes, because he's going to start to slow down. He's going to start to lose that momentum, and you could see it as the game wore on in the second half. There started to be a few mistakes here and there, and I remember thinking there was a point, I think it was Cruz stole the ball off of him and made a charging run, and I think that's right. He played it through to Vinicius, and Rudiger did well to win the ball back. But it was that moment right there that I'm thinking, all right, Conte probably needs a sub right now, because he's looking a little slow. He's looking off the pace. He's not looking like himself anymore. And then you get to the end of the game, and Loftus-Cheek makes a run way down the field into nothing instead of going back and helping Conte, so it's also on him too. But yeah, that ball from Conte is just, not a lazy, because that makes it sound like Conte's not doing his job. It's a tired ball. It's a ball of my legs are going and I just want to get rid of it because I'm under a lot of pressure. And unfortunately, it leads to the goal, which then leads to Real Madrid basically winning the game at that point. So, again, I don't understand how Tuchel can look at this situation, can look at how Conte's been playing recently and see that, okay, he's getting to that point where he's off the pace now. Let's make that change. But no, let's not do that. Let's keep him out there, and then he makes the mistake, which leads to a goal. I don't get it. Again, from somebody who has coached the sport before, I don't understand how the coach cannot look and see these issues, because it's very obvious from where I'm looking. And if I'm able to see it, why can the coach not see it? And if it was something where like, oh, I think I'm seeing all of this and then none of it's coming true, then that's one thing. But there were some very clear issues before the goal happened, and nothing changed, and the goal happened. So, I don't know. It's just frustrating. And the front three, Mount, Havertz, Werner. Honestly, not the front three I was expecting, but the front three I wanted, and they played well today. And honestly, I think the big part of it, and something that I've been saying for a while, is that Werner's been playing more in the center of it. He's not been starting out wide and trying to cut in. He's in the center, making runs side to side. Because that's what he's good at, and you did it against Southampton, you did it today, and look how effective he looks. This is the best performance he's put on since he's shown up at the club these past 2 games. And it's because we put him at the center. Havertz is able to drop a bit deeper and try to make stuff happen. Mount is just a workhorse up there, and Werner's just running the line. He's running back and forth. He's causing problems for the defenders. He's trying to make stuff happen. And look, we scored 3. We scored 6 against Southampton. We scored 3 against Real Madrid because of that. Because of that one simple switch. Werner's got 3 goals in 2 games now. Look how easy that was. I don't understand. Like, I know people were looking at him and going, oh, he's just not quite good enough for a number 9. But the thing is, you take him out of that number 9 position, he has not looked comfortable. He only looks comfortable when he's sitting in the center and he's able to go side to side and he's got somebody sort of flanking him a little bit, making runs off of him like Havertz. And you've got Mount also up there making runs to open up space for the both of them. I mean, he's an effective player when he does that. So I hope that Tuchel takes the hint and keeps playing him in that position because it's what we need in the attack. Havertz also played well. He's been in a good run of form recently. Even before the international break, and he's carried on since then. I think he scored the goal in the first leg, and I think he scored 1 against... Because I know Werner and Mount had 2 each. Can't remember. Alonso had another one. Yeah, that's right. Havertz had the other one because Werner hit the post and it came back to him. So he's in a good vein of scoring as well. Did he score today? Mount scored the first, Rudiger the second. So he didn't score today, but still very involved, still very dangerous looking in the final third. So yeah, I've been very impressed with his performances recently. Hope he can keep it up too, because he's been one of our better players over the past month or so. And then Mount has definitely looked much more like himself over the past 2 games. Very effective, full of running, energetic, putting pressure on the defense, causing mistakes. It's what he looked so good, what he was doing under Lampard. It's why he made it into that England squad, because he's such a workhorse in that front 3. So even if he's not scoring, even if he's not assisting, he's still just so much pressure on the ball. So I hope he can keep that form up, because we need more of that if we want to make our challenge for the top 4 and stay in that top 4. As far as the subs are concerned, Pulisic, like I already said, he missed several chances after he came on. Not like he was terrible, like he was working hard, but yeah, we needed a finisher, and he came on and he didn't provide that. He had 2 or 3 clear-cut chances that he wasted. So you bring on one player to replace another player who's already scored and who's being extremely effective throughout the game. You want the player you bring on to be just as effective. You don't want to bring on a player that's going to be half as effective as the player you're bringing off, especially because you're making this change after we've given up a goal and has now put us on the back foot. You want to bring on a player who's going to get us a goal and put us back on the front foot again. But that's not what happened. Pulisic comes on, and while, again, he did work hard and he was making runs that put him in good spaces, he's also missing those chances, which is also bringing the mentality of the squad down, because everybody's working so hard. It's like, all right, here, have the ball, put it in the net. You're 6 yards out. All you got to do is just put it in the net. And he doesn't. And now everybody's like, really? Really? We've been working so hard. We've been busting our butt all game. And you come on and you're wasting these chances that we're giving you. And now we got to do some more defending. So just very frustrating. Very frustrating. Into the extra time subs, because he only made 1 sub, even though we have 5, only made 1 sub in 90 minutes. But the first sub was, I think it was Ziyech. Yeah, Ziyech came on for Conte, which I don't really know exactly how it worked after that. Because I think essentially Mount dropped a bit deeper with Kovacic, and then it was like Ziyech, Havertz, and Pulisic up front, I believe. But Ziyech, again, was the only sub that wasn't terrible. And it's just mainly because he actually worked hard and he did create some good chances when he came on. And he's somebody that I like the front 3 of Mount, Havertz, and Werner, But I do feel bad for Ziyech because he has been working hard and he has been playing well recently. But unfortunately, I don't think he fits. I don't think you can take out any of those front three for him. The only thing I could think of is if we decide to put him maybe as a right wing back, which I don't really think that would work. But I know he tends to be wider. So if you put him as a right wing back, he would provide that width on the right side. And he loves to just sort of drift out there and then cut it in on his left foot and either curl it in back posts or cut it back across, and drive down the line. So I do feel like he would be effective on that right side, but would he do the defensive side of the wingback position? Probably not as well as James or Spilicueta. So it's something I thought about trying to force him into the lineup because he has been looking so good, and I just don't think he would be good on the left side because typically he wants to cut in on his left. Like I think that's his best play, driving down and crossing it with his left. I haven't seen him do as much with that in particular. So. And then Saul and Jorginho, honestly, they came on right after the second goal, and I just assumed that was Tuchel going, you know what, I'm going to be out of a job tomorrow anyway, so might as well make 2 more stupid decisions just to piss off the fans one final time. Because, what's Saul and Jorginho going to do? Take off pace. Even with all the tired legs, Jorginho and Saul probably even slower than those tired legs, so... I don't know what that sub was, but again, Jorginho wasted a glorious chance that he was presented with when Ziyech had the shot. Fell right to him. It was on his left foot, so you're like, oh, well, it's his weaker foot. He didn't even put it on target. He was wide open, took the touch, nobody on him, and he scuffs it wide. 3rd place in the Ballon d'Or, by the way. 3rd place, and he can't even have a simple shot with no pressure on his weaker foot. On target. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. That's probably smaller than the broadside of a barn. It's And then Saul, again, he had the one he probably should have won a penalty for where he beat Carvajal to the ball and poked it around him, and then Carvajal ran through his leg. But aside from that, just didn't do anything, and again, wasted that one chance. Wide open in the middle of the pitch. All you got to do is just dump a ball in that gives somebody a chance to get on it, and he puts it all the way to Courtois. And that's just, you're a professional, and you can't even put it in a decent area. That's awful. So, but yeah, I should have expected to be disappointed, but somehow still managed to be disappointed in all of this. So, out of the Champions League, FA Cup is next. Can't wait to watch Crystal Palace run all over us. Probably play Christensen, won't he? And Jorginho in the middle. Yeah. Tuchel's like, I want to be out of all the competitions. I want to be out of the top 4 next. I'm just waiting for that to happen. He's going to start playing Sar again. That'll be fun to watch. This is all sarcasm, by the way. It's not going to be fun to watch at all. So, with all that being said, though, and that's it for me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What were your thoughts on the game today? Let me know. We can talk about and discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Chelsea reviews. And, Tuchel out. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.